Y'all ready?
1 second, sorry. Kluvv, why you making me nervous? Okay, I'm ready. We're live here at the WAWG bookstore for another one of our how-to interviews where we bring the talented, the brilliant people in our community who are really doing things and they're going to show us how to do it. Today, I have a special guest, my friend. He has a Kennel business where he breeds dogs, foreign exotic dogs. I'm going to let him introduce himself by asking my first question that I always ask, which is, who is Kluvv?
Kluvv is a young man from the West Tampa area in Tampa, Florida. Just like any other, typical young black guy. I come from a single parent home. I come from the struggling, the projects, but I didn't let that define me as a person. I didn't make excuses. I, made a way. I took all the resources I had and made the best of my ability and did what I can with it. And today I'm a college graduate, a father, a son, somebody that's respected in my community, a guy that loves his community and give back to his community on the regular.
Mm-hmm. And so you talked about being a college graduate. What do you feel like being from the projects? How do you feel that prepared you for the college experience?
It just basically being from, a lot of people tend to say like have a negative image when they say you come from the projects, but I think being in the projects teach you a lot of stuff about like how to deal with different type of people, different type of attitudes, in a lot of different type of situations. So once you do get to the college level, you basically around a whole bunch of people that come from different places, different backgrounds, different stories. So you basically already prepared on how to deal with different type of situations. So you be pretty good once you get to college.
And how do you feel like college has prepared you for the business experience, like being a businessman?
College taught me most definitely how to network, and when you having a business, as you know, you're a business owner, so networking is probably one of the most important things. It ain't about what you know, like they always say, it's about who you know, because if you got the ability to network, not just in your hometown, but you can reach out to people in different cities, different states, and get your product or whatever you got going on in the hands of other people, not just in your city or not just in your circle.
Mm-hmm. And can you take us back to the moment of when you decided to start the Kennel business? Like, take us to that moment of, okay, you said I'm gonna start, and what was the first step?
So I got two daughters that love animals. They love dogs, and I got a friend named Rico. He was already in the kennel in the dog business with the kennel and stuff. And I told him I was gonna end up getting a Frenchie for my daughters, and he basically was telling me like, well, if you gonna get you a dog, they not cheap, so you might as well make the best of it. Use it to the best of your ability and make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't go to jail for it. It ain't nothing illegal, so why not capitalize off it? And, at the same time, while you loving your pet, you making money off of it.
Mm-hmm. And so you said that your friend suggested, do you feel like he was a mentorship towards your process of actually doing the business, or did you have to go to YouTube? Like, what was your process to learning actually how to do it?
He most definitely like my mentor, like still to this day, like we talk. Reek probably call me like every morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we speak on not just, business ventures, we speak on family, we speak on kids, how our kids doing, check on each other. And that's an everyday thing, but he most definitely a mentor. I had a dog that got sick one time, and it looked like he had caught parvo, and Reek came through and said today.
Parvo?
Yeah, parvo. It's kind of like a disease for animals. and it can kill them like in a matter of time. Like have them sick. They'll check out of them quick. And I called Reed. I ain't even called a vet. I called Reed. Reed came through and gave the dog some shots, power shots. He shook back in a couple of days. He saved my boy Walkie.
And how many dogs do you have now?
Total, I'd say about 7, 8.
7, 8.
Yeah, I co-own a couple dogs with a couple friends too.
So you co-own, like, so y'all breed the dogs?
Yeah, so like when you co-owning a dog, you basically like sharing a dog. Like we go half on everything.
Oh.
So, got a couple co-owned dogs too.
And what would you say is the hardest part about managing your business as dealing with the dogs? Kennel.
The hardest part?
Yeah, the hardest part. Like, what's the hardest part? Here, it went off.
I'd say the hardest part.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I never did that before. Oh, so due to the connection. Okay, we back, y'all. We back. So the hardest part about managing a
dog kennel.
Yeah, dog kennel.
It's just like kids, honestly. So it's like having a dog. The type of dogs I have, they have like breathing problems. Knowing with the muzzles, them being flat faces, so they have breathing problems. So as far as like what's best for them as far as being outside, and it's the same with a kid. Like, you know, you're gonna make sure your kid in the best situations that they can possibly be in. So you don't want to put your dog in those situations where they can get sick either, because you know, taking a child to the doctor, it might not be as much expensive as taking a dog to the doctor. Like, being honestly, like dogs expensive, like taking them to the vet and stuff. So, you know, just making sure your dog in the best situations it can be, as far as living conditions, probably.
And what's your favorite thing about having that business?
I never understood when they said a man's best friend is a dog. Like, I never understood that growing up until I actually got dogs, and they honestly just like kids that can't talk. So, you know, I always said, like, people that have a lot of stuff on their mind that don't feel the need to express it to another human, you know, they can express it to a dog. Like dogs listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, DMX, one of my favorite rappers, so to hear him talk about dogs, and then I can honestly be like, that's true. Like, it put you in a whole different, like, dogs really listen though. They can tell when you're going through stuff and all.
Interesting. That's interesting. No, I never thought about that, because I never had a dog. My mama didn't allow us to have dogs, so I don't really have a relationship with dogs. So that's interesting for me to learn. So
they got like service dogs too. So they got different dogs that can signify different, you know, emotions or certain things like that. So they most definitely understand and know what's going on around them when it's trouble, or, you know, when it's good. Like, they can understand it.
And how do you manage having personal expenses and business expenses? Like, do you have a separate account? Like, how does that look for you?
Yeah, I got separate accounts, and that ended up coming along with, because me personally, being from the streets, like, it's like you have a different mind frame. You know, not too many people from the streets really trust banks, stuff like that. So, but having a mom and having business-minded people around you with sense, you know, they gonna guide you down the right path when it comes to that type of stuff. So, yeah, I got a personal account and I got a business account.
And you said you feel like you got that from your mentors, of really just like leading the way for you?
Yeah.
Okay. And since we've talked about mentors and people who've like your friend helping you, guide you through the business that you're currently in, books. I feel like books have been mentors for a lot of people that don't directly have a lot of mentors. Is there, since we in the All We Got bookstore, is there a book that you feel like kind of shape your mindset and who you are? It can be regarding anything.
A book. If I'm gonna say a book, I go with, it's a book called A Year in White. That's based upon my spiritual beliefs, and it basically speaks on, you know, somebody's personal experience with a ceremony that we call Ocha, which is crowning, basically. And that's like the book that I turned to when it was just me by myself during my year white. That's the book I read. I probably read it like twice, like in my year white, and it basically, you know, identify with what my spiritual beliefs is and what I went through during my year 7 days in white.
And as far as you making progress in business, how do you define like what's next in your business? Like, do you have a goal plan, or is it just like you just go with the flow?
I'm just a go with the flow type of person, like in life. Like, I was never the type of person that kind of set goals, like, you know, which is different. And a lot of people may think that I will set goals, but I was always the type of person that never set goals, because I had a grandfather that used to always say, he used to always say, like, tomorrow ain't promised, stuff like that as a child. So I always basically, like, I mean, it is what it is type of person. However it's gonna go, it's gonna go. If it's gonna go good, it's gonna go good. If it's not, it's not.
I find that, I'm sorry, I find that interesting, just because, like, even in school, so how do you approach, like, school? ¿Qué pasando aquí? No entiendo nada. Sorry. Y'all, it's going in and out, so y'all bear with us. We still here with y'all. Okay, so you said that you don't set goals, so how do you approach something like school that you feel to finish it? Like, how do you approach that?
I look at certain situations. So, like in college, I ain't have many options in college. So it was either, you know, I'm gonna be in school or I'm coming back to the streets. So it wasn't, I ain't have to set a goal. I knew what I was faced against if I was gonna drop out or if I was gonna leave. I knew I was coming back to the streets. So I ain't really have to set no goals as far as that. I just put it in my head, this is something that gotta be done, so it gotta be done. Setting goals, I'm gonna tell you why I don't set goals. We come from, black males come from basically entertainment backgrounds. They want to play football, they want to play sports. Growing up, that's all we want to do. So a lot of people, a lot of males set their goals on playing sports. Within my college experience, I seen a lot of people set goals that they didn't reach, and they couldn't adapt to life after not reaching that goal. So I seen guys get told their whole life, like, oh, you good enough to play in the league, you gonna make it. They get to college, don't make it, and then they can't cope with life. They don't want to get a 9 to 5 because they so used to everybody looking at them like a superstar. They done set their goals so high to the point that, you know, I don't think people be realistic with themselves about what they put up against when it comes to reaching their goals. So when they don't reach those goals, they can't cope with life. And then they'll be running around here doing stuff that don't make no sense based off pride. So I seen a lot of people set goals that they couldn't reach, and they couldn't be themselves in society no more because they was told one thing their whole life. They had high hopes on one thing their whole life. So after seeing people like not being able to cope with that, like not reaching their goals, it's like, well, I ain't gonna do that, because if it happen, it happen. If it don't, it don't. I got kids to take care of, so I still gotta make something shape. Can't be running around here worried about a goal that I didn't reach. You know what I'm saying?
And we had that conversation before. And then I have, I'll wrap it up, and then I'll let you mention anything that you want to mention. Because you know we could be here all day long talking about a lot of different things. But I want to know, can you paint the picture of us of what the day in the life looks like for you with managing dogs? Like, is it 8 hours? Is it 2 hours? How does that look?
It depends on, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. Every dog is different.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got pregnant females in your kennels, it's different on a regular basis. If you got a male dog that somebody need to use his stud, like as a stud, it can be different. So it just depends on the aspect of, because you're gonna treat a puppy different than you're gonna treat an older dog. Mm-hmm. You're gonna treat a male, he gonna have different adventures than a female. They got different ways. So, but on a regular day, it's just laid back. Mm-hmm. They, for the most part, you feed them, you let them out, you play with them, walk them, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's on a typical day. That's basically what it's based on.
And then how do you? I know you said you do co-parenting basically with the dogs, right? And you co-breed, correct? Is that safe to say that you co-breed with other dogs? Like, yeah. So how does that process go when you're networking with other people to like have their male, or is it just all your dogs that you breed with?
Nah, you can go outside of your own camping, pay for a stud fee, or somebody can pay you for a stud fee. But it's just networking, honestly. Like, you reach out to somebody, you see what they want to do, like the steps that they want to take as far as how much they want for their stud fee for one of their males, or somebody, it could be vice versa. Somebody will reach out to you, and basically, whenever that female going heat, y'all get her levels checked. Mm-hmm. If her levels at the rate for her to be ovulating, they'll pull the stud, and they basically do a AI and shoot her.
Okay. And what I wanted to say, okay, what advice would you give to somebody who wanted to start a kennel business?
The advice I give to somebody in life.
Yeah, like something that like you've inexperienced, or something you didn't know that you know now that you're in it.
Know what you buying. Know what you buying. Make sure you buying what you supposed to be getting. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people buy a lot of dogs when they're younger and they look a certain way, and then when they grow old, when they get older, it look like a totally different dog.
Oh yeah, I did see that happen to somebody before.
And then it's like, raise something that you ain't even okay with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even okay with the appearance and the amount of money you done paid for it. Mm-hmm. So.
And then my last question is, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self? Like 18-year-old Kluvv.
Probably listen to my mama. Just the fact of knowing that I don't know it all. Mm-hmm. Somebody that basically got my best interest telling me something, the right thing to do, and I'm basically thinking that I got it all figured out and I know what's best for me. When she know me better than me, what's best for me. Just listen, because I put myself through a lot of situations that I really didn't have to if I would just listen. So, yeah, if I would have listened as a child, I would have saved myself from a lot of heartache.
What the? I don't know what's going on with this girl phone. Okay. So you would listen to your mom. Okay. I wanted you to tell people how to reach you on your Instagram for the kennels. The kennels.
Okay, so the kennel Instagram is DB_kennels with 2 S's. Mm-hmm. Or you can reach me at my personal Instagram at Kluvv4, KLUVV, and the number 4.
Okay. And then we have one more